In today's fast-paced society, free time is a precious commodity. Many of us feel we spend far more time stressing out than chilling out, and if we had the choice, many of us would work less and play more. But our modern concept of leisure is a relatively recent phenomenon. Our ancestors would never have imagined that we'd have so much free time and so many different things to do. But of course they did play. Relics unearthed from ancient civilizations across the world show people taking part in all kinds of games and activities. However, this kind of leisurely fun was largely limited to the upper classes, who didn't work at all. For the majority of people, work and life were intertwined, and leisure time didn't exist. Until ancient Greece. The ancient Greeks took great interest in the arts and sport. The success of their civilization meant their basic needs were met, so they could pursue other interests. The wealthy elite, who had the luxury of leisure time, would spend it listening to storytellers, watching plays, and enjoying early examples of modern games, like drafts, dice, and marbles. The rest, who couldn't afford such frivolous games, played sport. This was an essential part of Greek society and was often central to religious festivals, including the very first Olympic Games. Here in the Olympia Valley, athletes would take part in events like wrestling, long jump, javelin, and the discus, while thousands of their countrymen looked on. They would have travelled across the country to watch, and experts estimate that a single event could attract more than 50,000 spectators. As the Greeks gave way to the Romans, the role of ritualised sport changed. They also used it to worship their gods, but it was viewed less as entertainment and more as a training ground for future soldiers. However, as the empire grew in both size and wealth, many Romans had more time on their hands. They demanded to be entertained, and thousands of people would pay to watch acrobats, musicians, and, of course, gladiators in amphitheatres across the empire, the most famous of which was the Colosseum. These large-scale spectacles disappeared with the decline of the Roman Empire. Over the next 2,000 years, few people had the time or the money to do much other than work. Of course, people played games and had fun, and if you were to look at most civilizations during this time, you would find early versions of most modern sports. But these activities were ill-defined and differed from place to place. It wasn't until the Industrial Revolution that leisure once again became organised. This was an era of great change. People moved from rural villages to big cities and worked in factories rather than farms. While people had always rested on Sunday, some now had Saturday afternoon off too. With this newfound time and hard-earned cash, people started to enjoy themselves. During the day, they played newly codified sports like football, rugby, or basketball. And improvements to transport infrastructure meant people could also travel to support their local team. In the evenings, they went to the theatre or to dance halls. The impact of this leisure revolution can still be seen today. Many of our modern leisure activities have their origins in the 19th century, and the attitude toward free time changed dramatically. In 1800, it was still seen as the preserve of the rich, but by the middle of the 20th century, it was viewed as a right rather than a privilege. By the 1960s, people were spending more money on leisure than ever before. New employment laws recognised people's right to free time outside of work, and increased income meant they had more money to spend. The era of popular culture had arrived, and people started to take their free time activities as seriously as their work time. Today, most of us fill our free time with a wide range of hobbies and interests, but it seems another revolution is underway. The Industrial Revolution created a routine that clearly divided our work time from our free time. But this is changing. Some of the biggest companies in the world pride themselves on offering fun activities in the office, while many of us find ourselves working in the evenings and at weekends. So we play during work time and work during playtime. This is redefining our concept of leisure time. And who knows how it will change in the future.